Hey YouTube, time to move on to basic subtraction. In basic subtraction, it's much like your basic addition. There's nothing tricky about it, and once again, you do start from the right of the problem, moving on to the left. I'm sorry, you start from the left of the problem, moving on to the right of the problem. I'm sorry, it's late here right now, and doing what I can for you. So let's go ahead and start with this first problem, 37 minus 26. You simply start at the left, got it right that time, and you take 3 and you subtract 2, and that gives you 1, so you put it down, and then you move on to the next column and you have 7 minus 6, and you go ahead and put down the answer for that, which is going to be 1. Now you'll notice that in all of these examples along the top here, there's no case where you actually have to borrow from the previous number, and I'm going to get into borrowing in a second, but I just want to show you the basic subtraction mechanics. Looking at the next one, 45 minus 24, it's just 4 minus 2, which is 2, and then 5 minus 4, which is 1, for 21, which is the answer. And these are really easy to do in your head, like the 77 minus 16. If you think about it for a second, you can just blurt out the answer, which is 61. It's just 7 minus 1, which is 6, and then 7 minus 6, which is 1, 61. Same thing with this one. The answer for this one should be 141. And I did it the same way, and I did it while I was saying out the numbers, which is one of the reasons why I messed up there. It's just 9 minus 8, which gives you 1, and then 5 minus 1, which gives you 4, and then 3 minus 2, which gives you 1 again. So that's how you would go about doing the subtraction if you did not actually have to borrow. But let's go ahead and take a look at the borrowing process for a second. When you get your subtraction problem, what you want to do is you want to look and see if any of the numbers on the top of the problem are larger than the numbers on the bottom of the problem. Let me pick a different color here for the bottom. That's going to be the bottom of the problem. And if they are, then what you do is the number starting on the left-hand column, this number, you simply reduce it by 1 before you do your subtraction. So in this case, we reduce the 4 by 1 to get 3, and then subtract 2, so that gives us 1. And then when you get to the part where you have the number that is smaller on top, in this case we have 5, which is larger than 8, you simply imagine a 1 in front of it. Now, I just do this in my head. I don't actually use a piece of paper when I do these. So now instead of 5, we have 15, and 15 minus 8 is 7, of course, and that's going to give us our answer, 17. Moving on to the next one, we can see that we are going to have to borrow. So instead of 7, we imagine 6. So 6 minus 5 is 1. And then we imagine a 1 in front of there. So we have 12 minus 4, which is 8, and that gives us 18 for the answer. Moving on to the next one, we have 9 minus 5, but it looks like we're going to have to borrow, so we reduce this by 1. So we have 8 minus 5, which is 3. Then we put a 1 there. And now if we look, we don't have to borrow, so we have 11 minus 3, which is going to give us 8. And then 6 minus 2, which is going to give us 4. So the answer for that one would be 384. And on this last one, I moved the place where you have to borrow again. We have 7 minus 6, but we look real quick, and everything looks good. So 7 minus 6 is 1. Then we have 2 minus 4, but it looks like we have to borrow, so we reduce that by 1 in our head. So now it's 3 minus 2, which is also 1. Now we put a little 1 there. And now we have 15 minus 7, and 15 minus 7 is, of course, going to give us 8. And that gives our answer, 118. And that's the basic mechanics of how subtraction works. I will probably do another video that has some more examples, just so I can run you through the process again and again and show you what it looks like at speed. And then I'm going to do one more video that shows very specific mechanics for numbers like 100, 1000, and also 200, 2000, multiples of 100. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and that is basic subtraction.